Hello, hello, hello. April, you're first. Hi, April. How you doing, boo? Hello, hello. Hi, Trish. Hi, June. Hi, PJ. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Megan. Oh, goodness, I'm missing y'all. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Regina. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Brittany. Hi, Carolyn. Hey, Tarina. Hey, Marcia. Hi, Denise. Hi, Miss Pam. Hi, Keith Vinson. Hey, Chastity. Sally, welcome. Hi, Terry. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Janice. Hi, Carlette. Another Peggy. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Valerie. Welcome on in. Come on into the house and sit down. We'll learn some stuff tonight. Yes, girls. Come on. You're watching from Costa Rica? Well, thank you for watching, Denise.
Yes.
Look, I'm working on Beetlebox Celebrity. Look here. If you're a member of Beetlebox Celebrity, this is their private class for March. Look at these little hydrangea petals. So they actually get a bonus course with this one. I've not finished this yet. She's about ready for me to start the beading on that. This is 3D at its finest. Is that not beautiful? That's so pretty. So tomorrow, hopefully, I'm going to start the pearls and very heavily inlaid crystals up in the top of here. But yes, I think it's turning out beautiful. Hi, Geneva. Girl, we were talking about you today living up at the North Pole. Lord. Hi, Crystal. How you doing? Thanks for joining tonight. We're talking about Beetlebox Celebrity, their project coming up for March. I'm getting ready to take off to Florida at the end of this week, so I have to make sure all of my filming and all the things I typically finish up that last week of the month are done before I go. So yeah, that's what I'm working on here. And I got Trina. I've enlisted Trina to help me. Trina's working on these side nails for me. We got a tag team this one. This project's a little bit more involved here. I know, Amanda, and this is going to be available in several different colors. Like I'm going to send you the egg. So whatever color egg you get is what color set of nails you'll do. We're going to even go send you the matching gel polish to do it. So yeah, hi Christy. How you doing, girlfriend? Hi Megan. I hope you're feeling better. Yes, honey. Tonight we are going to paint. I've just been piddling. I've just been painting all kinds of stuff up in my studio today because I'm done with this cold weather. Can you tell? I'm done with cold weather. I've worked on these little blossoms today. How sweet are these? If you weren't here Wednesday night, I've seen several of you tag me in these little heart blossoms this week. Thank you. Y'all are doing a great job. You're doing so good. I'm so proud of you guys when you watch an online class and then you're able to go and replicate that. So yes, yes, yes. Good deal, good deal. Everybody doing all right tonight? Have you had dinner? Do you have something to drink? Do you have a coffee or anything with you tonight that you can sip on while we work? Because I am going to teach you how to paint hyacinths tonight and hydrangeas. Girl, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I have a beautiful little spring bundle that has this Monty cream gel palette in it, and it's all the colors that are in here. That's what I painted these hyacinth and hydrangeas with. There's approximately 85 coats in each one of these little cells. And they are true to color. Let me open them up so you can see. I'll show you what's in the bundle here in just a second. I don't know if y'all get an alert when I pop these bundles on or not, but usually as soon as I put them on, they start flying out the door, especially this one because we're all so tired of winter. We want spring to come on, and I put you a $25 off coupon on this tonight. So the bundles at the top, it's $114.50 worth of product in here. But if you'll use the code FLOWER25, that'll save you $25. It brings it down to 80-something dollars. Look at these colors, how pretty. Girl. So you get the 6-piece cream gel palette. That's what I'm going to paint the artwork with. I also painted up, I don't know if I have time to get to this tonight. I made a chrysanthemum candy ball out of these. Let me see how close I can get in that. Child, you better quit it now. Hold on. Let me get this camera to focus. There we go. Look at her, how beautiful. Have y'all made candy balls before for your nails? I know, Regina. It's very impressive. You want to see that? So good thing this is open studio week for me. So I'll be live every night this week. If y'all want to, if I have time, I'll show it tonight. I don't know what Keith Finn's got planned, honey, because he has to monitor the class from behind the scenes here. But we'll see if we have time to do this tonight. And you can do these all sizes. They are so easy to do. And I did it with this right here. Where you get off on these little candy balls is if you don't have the right supplies to do it with. All right, so this comes with the bundle, and then there are 3 rubber-based gels that come with this bundle, and they're all coordinating colors. You get Bubblegum Fancy, Iris Fancy, and Cerulean Fancy. Let me show you. The fancy rubber-based gels have that kind of like little chrome flake in it. Can y'all see that? How it's like opal. So you get that one, and then you get the iris. She's pretty, isn't she? And then you get bubble gum. These are all HEMA-free, 7-free. And bubble gum is just like she sounds. She's a beautiful bubblegum pink. And look, you guys, this really can put strength into the nail. If you are suffering with damaged nails, I cannot stress this enough. And I know my seasoned nail techs that are watching, like Megan and Courtney and Jamie, they can attest to you that this rubber-based gel can almost heal a nail within the first 2 to 3 weeks that you wear it. If you have damage on there, yeah, that damage is going to stay on the nail until it grows out, but it puts enough strength into the nail so that your nails aren't floppy and it's not paper thin. It doesn't hurt to wash your hair, kind of deal without it. So if you need to rehab your nails, this is a great product to do that with. And you get 3 of them in here that coordinate with this palette. And then I put you a 7mm brush into this kit, which I don't, let's see, let me grab mine real quick. Let me grab mine. Because a 7mm is great control versus a 9mm. So 7mm brush right there. Jamie says they're a huge hit in her salon. If you don't know, you can wear a rubber base gel under acrylic. You can wear this by itself. If you need right much strength into the nail, I recommend 2 coats of this. But you can put this, if you're a lifter, you can put this under acrylic nails. You can put it under hard gel nails. You can put it, if someone has a cracked toenail, you can use this as a base on the toenail to kind of fuse and hold that back together. So it's just a great universal product. So all of that comes in this bundle, $114.50. Put your coupon code in, FLOWER25, and you're going to get $25 off. It brings it to 80, is it 89 and change, Keith? I forgot to look at that before I came live. All right, y'all ready to learn how to paint these hyacinth and hydrangea? Now look, this little palette comes with a brush. I'm going to have you mutilate this brush because this is a nylon brush, and you've got to have one brush that's mutilated just for hydrangea and hyacinth painting. And why not do this one? Don't use your expensive gel brush, your $24.95 gel brush. As a matter of fact, the more ratty the brush, the better off you're going to perform with this. So here's what we're going to do. Let me close my little gels up here so I don't get brush hairs in them. We are very limited in stock on this bundle tonight, only because we are limited in our rubber base gels, our palette. We had to make sure we had enough rubber base gels to equal the number of palettes that we had. So yes. Okay, here's what we're going to do. You're going to take a pair of nippers and you're going to cut the sides of this brush out like this. Trust me, I have tried this with a lot of other brushes, and you need it to work just like this. I know a lot of times I'll do a technique and people say, well, I don't have that. What else can I use? I don't really know, because I'm showing you the best possible way to get the best possible outcome. So y'all see how much of that brush I'm whacking away? This is why you don't want to whack one of your good brushes. Thank you for the orders, ladies and gentlemen. If we have gentlemen watching too, this is gonna be so easy. This 5-minute nail art, honey, you will absolutely love this. And I want you to get in the habit, when you're using a palette like I'm going to be using tonight for nail art, don't work straight out of the palette. Scoop a little bit of that gel out and put on a palette, so you're not sitting here with the top of this open all the time, because you're exposing that to air and your table lights and all the things. Just take a little bit out at a time. All right, about there's where we want to be. Y'all with me on that? We really whacked her, didn't we? I'm going to take my scooper. And tonight I'm going to be using the dark purple. This is the gel palette. And we only have this in the bundle. We didn't have enough to put her by herself. So sorry. I'm going to use this lavender. And I'm going to use a little bit of this light mint green over here. In addition to this, you're going to need a white gel polish, which I know all of y'all have. And maybe a little bit of a dark green gel polish. Let me see which one I want to use here. I knew I was going to grab this one. You're so delightful. Let's use that. Thank you, whoever posted the coupon code. Sally, thank you for posting that. Don't forget to enter y'all's coupon code so you can save you a little bit of money. So onto the palette. Let's just go ahead and set up this palette, because I can't leave my palette. I just can't fit all this under here and show you how to do the artwork too. But at least you can see how I'm going to have it on my palette. And we'll put that dark green close to the light green there. And then I just have Angel Food Cake, which is our one coat white, and we're going to put her right there. Now for the candy ball that I was showing you earlier, I used both of those shades of purple and white. I think this is beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm in love with this. If you're shopping tonight and you want to make these candy balls, you're going to need a jar of crystal embossing gel to do this with. If you don't have one, or if yours is like really low in the bottom, throw you one of these on your order, because once I show you this, you're going to be putting candy balls on everybody. And look, if you're like me, I have such a hard time just sitting and watching a movie. My mind is so active. I need something else. And you could do these. You could have you a little TV tray right there. You can make up these candy balls and fill, I don't know, if you have extra storage, or maybe you have extra little something like this, throw all your candy balls in there, so you're not making this in front of your client. Those of you that do press-ons, I know Geneva's watching, she does press-ons. Megan Sugg, who else does press-ons? April, raise your hand if you do press-ons, because I don't see any of this, and I haven't taken it off my dotting tool yet. I don't see very many people putting this on their press-ons. And y'all, that's what's going to set you apart on your press-on nails, okay? So if we have time, I'll show you that tonight. If not, because it's open studio week, I'll be live again tomorrow night and we'll tackle this one first. All right, so there's our little palette. I'm going to move her over here. Just going to give myself some room. I'm going to use Bubblegum Fancy, which is in the bundle tonight. It's the pink one. And I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of this down. People ask me all the time, Miss Tracy, do I need to put a base coat under that? No, honey. This is a base coat. It is a colored, tinted rubber base that you do not need a base coat under. Just let that level just a second. Look how pretty she smoothed out. And we're going to cure. You don't know how to make them, Megan? They're very, very easy to make. Do they require a little bit of time? They do. They do require just a touch of time. But they are not hard at all. Okay, so our little brush that we cut down here, I think you guys can see that better. We're going to put her in a little bit of acetone. What you really want is the free edge of that brush to get all nice and ratty and like really bad. Looks like Barbie's hair that you put a hairdryer on, honey. That's how you want her to look. So the more you use that and the more you scruff that up, the better she will perform. I'm going to do one more coat of this. Just like that. I only cure my rubber base for 30 seconds if I have a thin coat like I'm doing. I prefer to polish thin rather than thick because we do want this to cure all the way through. If you have HEMA allergy or every time you put something on your nails, your fingers are getting itchy, you are most likely allergic to the HEMA that's in that product. So these are HEMA free, okay? Nice, beautiful bottles. I love these rubber base gels. Take a guess. Okay, so our #1 selling color in this is Sun Your Buns. Girl, have I shown you Sun Your Buns? I think I have. It's this beautiful, it has a little bit of gold luster to it. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous kind of, what would you call it, Amanda? It's like if you're going to use bronzer on your skin, it's about that tone, okay? All right, what we want to do is grab a sponge. I have one of these little ladies, and I already have some white in there. I'm pretty sure I do. But before I do that, I'm going to take a little bit of Royal Baby Bug matte, because I want this to be Eastery looking, and this kind of looks like Easter eggs, right? I don't want all those little black spots in one place. I kind of push and shove them where I want them to go. Oh, bless you. Bless you, boo. And let's cure that. Now, that Royal Baby Bug is what I've used on these ones to mimic the Easter egg kind of look. Do you need a primer with my rubber base? You don't have to. It has a primer already in it. Now, you can use a primer, Kim, but it's going to make it harder to get off if you're soaking off. Look at that Royal Baby Bug. How pretty. Now, that Royal Baby Bug comes in matte or it comes in shiny. I can't wait. If you're in celebrity, I cannot wait for you to see how I did these. You gonna love it. You just gonna love it. All right, here we are. I got a little bit of white gel on my sponge. Apparently not quite enough. Not quite enough. Let me put on just a little more here. What we want to do, we're kind of making a little frame for these hydrangea and hyacinth to sit on. super light touch. Y'all, I forgot to get my drink tonight. There we go. I want to do one more. Let's do, while that one's curing, where is my cerulean? Yeah, everybody always asks me about my engagement ring that I wear, which I don't have it on tonight, but you know, it's that beautiful minty blue color. It's a Caribbean Aphrodite is my stone, but the color that they call it is cerulean. That's what this is, cerulean. Look at that, it's mint. It's got just a little hint of blue to it. Girl, Amanda says thank you for her coffee. You welcome, honey, you welcome. Look, you never know what Miss Tracy and Mr. Keith is going to tuck into your order. Is Stacy watching tonight? Because Stacy, we tucked you something in your order, hon. I don't know if she's watching tonight or not. I'm going to do just a little bit more right over top of that. If you're brand new, raise your hand. Are you brand new watching? Is it your first time tonight? Let us see if you're brand new. Stacy, girl. I hope you use it. I hope you use it. Let's do one more coat of this. There we go. Isn't this beautiful? Girl, this makes you want to sing Stevie Wonder. Isn't she lovely? Look at her. And let's cure that now. Now, I put little black spots on one and I left it off on one. So we'll do it both ways and you can see which way you like it best. This is Cerulean Fancy and it is available all on its own, just like that. I should probably show you the purple one too, Iris Fancy. Let's look at this one while that's curing. Oh, look at that fire. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yes, all of these are in the bundle with the new gel palette tonight. Okay, I don't know. Should we? I think we should put the little bird egg spots on this one. I was going to do it without it, but I think let's add it. Especially on this aqua kind of minty blue. Yes, let's do. And then there's the purple. We'll do one more coat of purple. One coat is sheer, 2 coats are opaque. And this is Iris Fancy. It's beautiful, and I know, Stacy, it's so gorgeous. I love all of these fancy rubber bases. Look, I got to do my nails this week because we leave this weekend for my big class in Florida. And I thought I would wait and bring y'all along with me since it's open studio week. And y'all can kind of help me chew my color. I'm torn. I want to wear one of these, but I also want to wear blue. I don't know. You know, my favorite is Wally Pop. Keith says this looks like Florida. And I like to wear, that's one of my favorite colors to wear is Wally Pop. Combine it. I thought about that too. Trisha, you got to do a new set, girl. I know she's coming. Okay, here we go. We had a hard time finding some place to stay because we'd reserved Airbnb and the owners canceled it on us at last minute. So we've ended up in a hotel, which is, I mean, it's not my first pick because I like to be where I have got a kitchen. I can make my coffee and just all the things, but it is right on the ocean, so I guess I can make that work. Ha ha ha, right? Girl, won't you quit? Won't you quit? All right, here we go, Gigio. We're gonna take a little, I'm gonna try and get this in frame. This is that beautiful shade of green. We're gonna take a little of that green gel polish. See, I got brush hairs all in my, and once you start to work these solid gels, I mean, they fall down just like a gel polish does. So we're gonna work in a little bit of that with this. Y'all know me, I'm notorious for not using something straight out of the bottle. Okay, so here is our hyacinth stem. I'm gonna say, let me turn it this way. I'm gonna go right there, here, and maybe there. And we do the same thing on this side. Now they do not have to match exactly. They can be cousins, not twins, right? Not even sisters. And this is your 7mm brush. Okay. And let's cure that. Oops, wrong one. Wrong one. I think that's enough white on that one. Let me go ahead and pop that in the light and cure that as well. Okay, when we load up our little brush, I'm gonna just load up the tip just like that. I just dipped it right down in there. Let me check my stems first. Yeah, they look good. So this is why we have to trim that brush. We're going to start the hyacinth with the brush turned this way. And as we get towards the end of the stem, we're going to turn the brush this way. So watch. Boing, 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 and turn, and out. So we're just tapping. We are just tapping. Just like that. The more scruffy your brush becomes, the prettier these will be. Remember, we just trimmed a new brush here. Turn it this way. Yes, Stacy, it is. Now, every place you put a stem, you want to put a little bit of this solid gel on there. If you've not worked with solid gel before, it'll take you just a little bit to get your consistency right. Don't worry if you have to practice with it. Just a touch, honey. Just a hair. And then maybe we just put a little bit right there. Look at there. That one, I didn't quite have enough gel on, so it wasn't as pigmented. Okay, we're going to cure. Now, we're not done. Let's cure that. Because the next color we're going to load up from the palette, we're going to work from darkest to lightest. So now we put a little bit of this muted lavender on our palette, and we're going to clean off our brush, just dry wipe it, and we're going to load that. Right here. See if we can get in there. Work that out this way.
Brittany says, what do you mean by solid gel?
Solid gel, Brittany, is solid gel in a palette like this. It's like a Dairy Queen Blizzard, honey. She doesn't go anywhere. That's your solid gel. Now, this is not this is not one stroke paint, okay? This is solid gel in cream form. All right, next step. Go right back over. let's see, I'm going to mix a little bit of that darkest purple and this together, so it's not so much. No, let me just double check here. I'm going to go right back into that lighter lavender. Okay, now turn the brush this way and kind of boing, 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 and right over top we lay in that lavender. It has the consistency of a whipped cream, but it's not as pigmented. It still has the pigmentation of a gel polish. Okay, so tap, tap, tap. Do you see how that kind of puts some dimension in there? Right? Okay, so now we cure again. We're going to dry wipe the brush, and this is where we go into the solid white gel polish. I'm using Angel Food Cake. The best thing that can happen for this little brush is to kind of use and abuse that and scruff up the tips of that brush so that she's kind of sort of does something like that. And now I'm going to load solid white into my brush, and ever so slightly I'm going to pop in a highlight. You see how my brush hairs are separated after I did that? That's how you want it. So now touch and touch and touch. And if you get it too light, don't even stress, because you can go back into that darkest color and lay a little bit of dark right over top. Now look, can you believe you painted that? That's what you're going to say. Miss Tracy, I cannot believe I painted that. Let's cure. Cannot believe I painted that. Let me just touch this one right here with a little bit of my darker purple, just to kind of break that up a little. There we go. 'Cause I'm picky, honey. All right. Now take your 00 brush, go into that green gel polish we put on our palette. Just barely touch the tip of your brush into it, and then go into straight up acetone. And we're going to ground our stems. Again, a little bit more acetone and just wash out that color. And now our stems aren't just sitting out there in thin air. Look how pretty that is. And we can cure. That's so thin, I dare say, I don't even know, probably 15 seconds would cure that. But just to be on the safe side, I want you to do it for 30 seconds. Questions so far? Did I answer their question on solid cream gel? Yeah? Okay, good deal. Thank you, Kimberly. Thank you, thank you. I am going to grab my black whipped cream. Now, these do not cure, or when these cure, they have a tacky layer to them. So because I want to pop in a little chrome here, I'm going to get my black whipped cream gel, because this we can chrome. These we cannot. This is gel polish just in solid form. We could stop right there and top coat it. Many of you, that's all you need to do. But if you want to have something a little extra, let's do this. Let's grab our artistic mat. This is just a little something extra. Girl, you empty. She is flat out empty. Hold up. I keeps me a stash here. Lord, y'all, I got a stash of everything. Everything. we go. Artistic Matte is our chrome blocking mat. This will protect everything else while we put our chrome on. And now we're going to cure. What collection was taken, Alfie? It wasn't in a collection. It was just a single color. Okay, I don't want to start this hydrangea just yet and work back and forth because I don't want to confuse you on that one. It is a Dazzling Daydreamer polish if that helps you, Kim. Girl, won't you stop? Okie dokie. Artistic Matte, look, it's a no wipe matte. In case you've not used it, you don't have to wipe it. If I'm going to chrome it, I will wipe it. Just to make sure I don't have, I mean, you never know. You can touch it coming out of the lamp. You can just, all kind of things. So I put just a little alcohol and then wipe it down. You know a client who's getting that? I can't wait to see. You'll rock this, Sharon. Come on, little camera, focus. You will rock this. I know you will. Okay, so now just random, I guess. We're going to do a little frame around the outer edge. You do not have to go to the extent that I've gone. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. See there? If you're working on a human, you tilt and turn their finger how you need to make it go. There's nothing more frustrating than trying to achieve something really, really beautiful that you've done 100 times before, and someone be so stiff that you can't move their fingers, or they're so busy on their phone that they're not really noticing what you're even trying to do. Now I'm going to overlap this like a little chain. Go inside of there and right outside. This is just a little free-form frame. Yeah, I used to tell mine that they were going to have to relax their fingers, and they'd relax their whole body. They'd slump their shoulders down. It was so cute. It was hilarious to watch that happen. But you just don't realize where you're holding all the tension either. And overlap in there. Now, if you are a scroll work painter, you can frame that out with a little bit of scroll work. Personally, I wouldn't, because I want that to be my focal. But a cute little bow would be adorable right down here. How would we do that, Miss Tracy, if we've already done the frame? Well, this is where you would kind of color block and take out a little bit. So let me grab a brush. We're going to take off this because I didn't pre-plan it, just with acetone. There we go. It's very dainty, very, very pretty. And I kind of want the center of my bow there, and I want my bow to go this way. So let's do our loop. One there. And one here. Just like that. here. And maybe some little bow puckers in there. And now we can kind of join that back together on that other side. Look how cute. Now we're going to cure that and we're going to chrome that gold. Let's go in the light with that. Gold, silver, whatever you want to chrome it. Use my trusty little Triple Crown palette here. Isn't that pretty? Are you going to try it? Hydrangeas and lilacs or hyacinth, whatever you want to call it, they do work a little bit better with the solid gel, because if you notice when I'm putting that on the nail, I'm stippling that. Stipple, 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 stipple. And sometimes your gel polish will just be too runny to make that happen. Questions? Comments? I'm glad you're here. I don't know if I asked you, everybody doing okay tonight? What you having for dinner? I was going to cook us a steak last night for Valentine's Day. We actually got some at the beef farm. And girl, they were frozen. I had them things out thawing all day yesterday, and one of them was a whole lot thicker, and she never did thaw out. So I made ground beef sweet potato bowls last night for Valentine's Day, and it was so good. We really enjoyed it. So I cooked our steak tonight and made a little bit of rice. Subway sounds good. Look here. Oh, Keith loves gumbo. Oh, that sounds good too, Megan. I'm not a breakfast eater. Yeah, I could just about puke thinking about breakfast. I have to make myself eat something in the mornings, just blood sugar wise, you know. If I'm going to eat breakfast, I want it for dinner. And I want everything, honey. I want the meats and the eggs and the biscuits and the gravy. I want all the things that aren't good for you if I'm going to eat breakfast. But I don't want it for breakfast now. Look how pretty. Oh, that sounds good, Michelle. Y'all. Now look, we've created some uneven surfaces here because we painted the flowers with gel. And then we went in and added this little gold rim. If we just put a top coat on there, she's going to go a little bit lumpy on us. So I've got my clear, you can use your clear rubber base or your metallic glaze, either one. I've got my clear here because I'm out of metallic glaze sitting right by me. So I'm going to encapsulate this with a little bit of the HEMA-free clear rubber base. Girl, Lord. And if you don't know, we have this in a refill size also. Oh, how beautiful. This is really, really pretty and sweet, and it's just the perfect thing, especially for toes and short nails. All right, let's cure that. Now, let's talk about, while that's curing, because we still have to top coat it, let's talk about hydrangeas, because what we just painted was like a lilac or a hyacinth. There's really, if you look at the blossoms, they are closely related in nature. So what we did on our little hyacinth here, there was the stem, and basically it's a very narrow triangle is what we did with hyacinth. With hydrangea, however, so when we make our stem, let's say our stem is coming that way, our hydrangea blossom is going to go like that. So she's going to be wide and short. Think of a banana, and then think of a half a banana. All right, so now we're going to go back into this little bit of green. And hydrangeas that don't really have a stem on them, I'm just going to mark off where I want mine to be. I want one to come in here. And then I want one to come here. And I think I want one to go this way. And maybe another one there. Let's try that, and if I need to add another, I will. I'm just going to freeze that like 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. About like that. I'm going to paint this in the same color because I've got so much on my palette here. Just make sure when I say dry wipe the brush, this is what I'm doing. I'm not putting that brush in any fluid because I want to start making her real fluffy. Okay, so hydrangea blossom. She's going to go this way. Oh, Miss Tracy, won't you stop it? I'm just going to leave that right there. Another hydrangea blossom. Now, if your blossoms start sticking together, you got to do this again. Get that off of there and go back into that gel color. There's another hydrangea blossom. Let's go down here. Let's have this one kind of wide at the base and make her go that way. Like I can make some time on these hydrangea blossoms. I don't think I'm going to put one there. Let's load her up with a little bit more color. Okay, in the light we go for like 10 seconds. While that's curing, let's put a top coat on here. Ladybug Luster. If you want to wear it matte, though, you could. I'm going to leave mine shiny. How cute would this be for Mother's Day? Do this in any color. Now, your solid gel palette has 2 shades of turquoise, 2 shades of pink, and 2 shades of purple in it. Your mom would wear it? Yeah. I love these two. They're very, they're just very romantic, honey. All right, I'm going to do one more coat of my purple just because I want some of this purple a whole lot darker. I just want to build that up a little. And look, your solid gel you can mix with any gel polish while you're learning to use these. Maybe you want a deep dark purple. Use the darkest shade of your solid gel and mix a gel polish with it. Nothing wrong with that. All right, in we go. Again, about 15 seconds, I'm going to dry wipe the brush and go into this lavender. Look, we paint these two the exact same way. A little bit more. And you want this brush to be ugly and scraggly, because that's what puts the automatic shading of the hydrangea. You could even call this a lilac blossom. It's up to you. You call it whatever you want to, honey. Just don't call it ugly, because she pretty, girl. She pretty. It's a triple loading system, dark, medium, and then light. And be sure you're curing in between now, because you're going to pick up that color you just laid down with the new color you're trying to put on. Now we're going to go in solid white in our white gel polish. And we'll add the little highlight here. Not everywhere. Don't completely cover your other 2 layers. Look how pretty that is. Girl, won't you stop? Now, y'all know hydrangea leaves are like giant. I'm not going to put those on here. I'm going to do some little tiny gel polish leaves, but let's get a full cure on this. Let's do 30 seconds. You don't have to mimic the leaf exactly like it is in nature, but look at this, how pretty. And everything I'm using is in the bundle tonight, except the white gel polish and that dark green gel polish that I used. I know y'all have a white, and you most likely have a dark green. We're super limited on our quantities in our bundle. Yeah, this is salon ready, easy to do. Now, this one that we've been talking about, while the middle one is not salon ready, this is definitely more involved. Her sidekicks here are salon ready nail art. So I don't know why you couldn't if you had the right color on here. Look at that together. How pretty that would be. Henrietta, I know you can. I know you can, boo. All right, let's go back into our 00 brush. 00 brush is like a detail brush, but she's beefy. She's got a little beefiness to her. And I'm just going back in this gel polish that I mixed up. Even though we drew a little line there, we're going to hide her. We're going to hide this with a little leaf. All I do to paint my leaves is actually I make 2 parenthesis marks like that, and then connect it and color those babies in. I've got some of this kind of light color here. Maybe I'll highlight the side of my leaf with that. Don't overthink it. The eye already knows that this is a flower. Leaves are hard. For some people, they are. For some people, they're super easy. I kind of like to put a couple little leaves together. And my leaves are, you see, I'm just kind of sketching out my leaf. This one needs to be a little darker up here at the top, just so we know she's a leaf. I'm going to freeze that real quick. Hold on. Let me freeze. And then I'm going to go in with my gel polish, tinier brush. And just put me some wispies out around these little leaves. Don't overthink it. Keep them super light, super pretty, wispy, light, and airy. She's done. She's done. Let's pop that in the light, get a full cure, and we'll top coat it. You could do the same. Where's our sample? Where's our other nail gone to? Oh, you could do the same little gold frame around her if you'd like. Would be easy peasy. Shall I? Should I put one on or no? Sit up there, little nail. How many are going to try this for me? Are you going to try it? I want to see it. No, we can't do a frame because we took her all the way to the edge. So we're just going to top coat. Let's see. Let's do a little rubber base. because she's painted in gel too. We don't want that top coat to be ruffly. That little bit of white that we sponged on to start with, just like, it just makes this. Girl. And candy ball with this. Lord. Look here. Let's pop her in the light. Have we got time to do candy ball? Let me take this one off. What tier would I consider the hydrangeas we just did? Well, anything hand painted has to be your tier 3. I tell you what, let's make the candy ball tonight, and tomorrow night when I have open studio, I'll show you how to attach it, because it's a whole process and I don't have my e-file out. Okay, so you see, I popped her right off of there. Hold on, let me top coat this nail before I get into that. Go get your Diet Coke system. We finna learn something new. Okie dokie. She looks good. That's pretty. Oh, Lord, I'm having a hot flash. Okay. Let me get, where did my, here it is, crystal embossing gel. I take a little cuticle oil. Now, you can use a toothpick if you want and just cut off your toothpick. I prefer, excuse me, I prefer using this, and I just brush it with cuticle oil so that my gel doesn't stick to it. It'll stick to it enough to work on it, is basically all. Okay, for the middle, you're going to need your caviar beads. Y'all know I've talked about these 100 times already. I get these at Michael's. And let's get our little, let's get our IntelliCure. I'm going to need her, girl. I'm going to need her. Do you have IntelliCure with the leather handle? I love my IntelliCure lamp. Now, it comes with it is a USB-C charger, okay? It comes with a magnetic stand as well that you just kind of do that. So I'm going to put her right over here to the side. Let me kind of get her stabilized here. Let's see where I can put her. Hold on, gotta get her in frame. There we go. There we go. All right, crystal embossing gel. Take that end of your daughter that you oiled and go right in here. And come out. And into those little micro beads. That's all you're going to need. I'll get in frame here in just a second. Give me just a minute. I just kind of sort of like to help mine be in the middle. Now this needs to be rotated like a rotisserie chicken once we start dipping and getting heavier layers on there. So now this is where we bring IntelliCure in. Let me position this so I can keep her in frame for y'all. Give me just a sec here. I think that's, is that good right there? No. There we go. There we go. So now while I have her on, look what I'm doing. I am spinning my little dotting tool, and where I'm rotating it, it's not recognizing it wanting to stay on. I'm gonna just stay right there just a second. Okay, I have frozen that. I need to cure it just a little more. Let me go this direction. That is awkward. There we go. There we go, boo. Can y'all see it like that? I'll come out from under there when I'm not curing. So I spin, 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 spin. Okay, and we have this. Now we're going to dip again. And you just go up to where those beads are. And you spin until she evens out and makes a nice little round ball. You don't want this to be lopsided. There she is. And now I'm under the light again. Give me just a sec. And I'm turning like a little rotisserie chicken here. Look, this will fully cure it. You don't even have to put this into a big light. And because the crystal embossing gel is attack-free, it acts like a top coat as well. Okay, now here we go, Gigio. Here we go. We're going to take 00 brush. Let me get the green out of it. And we're going to go in that dark purple. And we're going to paint right on here. Press and pull down. We're going to do 3 of those. Oh, let's do one about right here. Press and pull all the way down. And then go to the other side and press and pull down. You've left just a tiny little opening on the top of there. But you got 3 petals. Now we go back under our light. I keep having to move this light. Let me set this up because it's gonna, there we go. I don't want it to cure. My gel polish got on my palette over here. There she is. And we just spin, spin, spin and let that cure. Okay, now we go into the lavender because we want this darker down in the middle. Let me get me just a little bit of white gel polish too because I used it all. Okay, lavender and just a little touch of white. Before we do that, I almost forgot. Ah! Girl, you better not have cured my gel. No, you didn't. You didn't. Go back with crystal embossing. Every time you add petals, you got to dip. Dip. Pull out. Let that drain and now start to spin because this will get really lopsided and uneven. There we go. And now back in the light we go.
You scared them.
Girl, I'll scare my own self, honey. And twist like a rotisserie chicken. Twist, twist, twist. At this point, you want this to get a really good cure on it because we're going to be adding gel polish layers into this, or solid gel or gel paint, whatever it is you're using. Okay. Now let's check her. Yes. So now we have a little of that dark purple, a little of the light purple, and a little white mixed on my brush. We're going to go in between those 3 petals with the next petal. Press and pull down. Now find the opening where the others are. Right here. Press. And pull down. Notice the petal gets tinier towards the bottom of that little candy ball. And now find the third opening, which is here, and press and pull down. Let's look at her from the top.
Jamie says it's recommended for the gold balls only.
You can use anything in the middle. You could use glitter. I'm going to widen that one out a bit. I'm going to widen this one out a little bit. You can use glitter. You can use anything. Anything in your middle. Okay, now back under the light. You don't have to put anything in the middle if you don't want to. You can just start with a larger bead of the gel on there and then go right into your petals. All right. Bring gel in and we dip again. When we dip, after we've painted our petals, what we're doing is putting a pillow. We're putting a cushion, a barrier in there against the last layer of petals that we've done. And now kind of tilt, make sure she's getting nice and round and not lopsided. And we cure. I actually did this with a firework pattern one time. Girl, she was pretty. I've done it with succulents. I've done it with roses. If you have been in celebrity long enough, we did succulents maybe last March or April. And those are a horse of a different color, obviously. They're done a little bit differently. But those ones were fun to do. All right, so we've done the dark lavender. We've done the medium shade of lavender. Now we're going to go with white gel polish, and we're going to mark off where this next segment of petals is. Okay, so wherever you have an opening, which you've got one here, and you've got one here, and you've got one here. Are y'all seeing that? Is that even showing up on camera? That's where the next petals go. But after we've placed these ones, our next petals kind of have to slide down a little. They're not going to be up here. They're going to start about right here. So let's use just our white gel polish, and then I'll add some shading to it. So now we form our petal differently. We do one, like a little turkey foot, 2, and 3. Turn till we find the opening here. 1, 2, and 3. There's our other opening. And you know, we're working on a super slick surface here. What I'm going to do is freeze cure that, and I am going to go back over this. Go right back in with that white gel polish. There we go. Could you do this with whipped cream gel? You could, but you might have a little bit of texture in your petals. It's the only thing. Yeah, I typically don't do it with that. That second coat made all the difference. Now, before we cure this second coat, we're going to go into darkest purple here and watch what we're going to do. Right over top of that wet white gel polish. Look at it from the top. Oh, those petals are going to be gorgeous. Okay, and cure. Twist, twist, twist. And look, if you need a tiny candy ball, then you would stop here, or you would stop the layer before. It depends on what size finger you're putting it on, or if you're doing a long press on nail, short nail. And because this is made from crystal embossing gel, you attach it with the exact same thing. Okay, now I'm going to dip again. Let gravity help you with the work here. Girl, won't you stop it, Miss Tracy? I've always wanted to try some jellyfish like this, but I don't know how I'd get my tentacles on. Well, I do, but I haven't worked myself up to it yet, honey. Have I ever had the ball come off in your gel? I have before. That's why I like to use this metal dotting tool. Because if you use the dotting tool where it's got that little bead on it right there, it keeps it on. Let's make sure we're cured here. Say, girl, won't you quit it? Won't you quit it, Miss Tracy? Look, look, look. Okay, the last layer, we put the white on, and then we put the dark purple in it. We're going to switch it up this time. We're going to start with this dark lavender again. And now we're going to go right in between these petals and do that little turkey foot type of petal that I showed you right there. And look, you can freeze as you go if you want to. If you're afraid you're going to make a boo-boo, this is going to be my last layer, I think. Always look at it from the top and make sure you've got your petals up high enough. Oh, she's going to be pretty. My technical terms. Oh, you mean my slang technical terms? Look, it's a shame we know how to do as much as we do, and we do it so little. Girls, if you can make this, make it. Show off a little, honey. Get this on your press-ons. Get this on your clients, the ones that want to wear it. Maybe none of them will wear it. You wear it. You're the nail tech. You put it on. All right, now we're going to take just a little bit of that white and go up on the edges of those, just a very free edge of some of those longer petals. Girl, do it. Valerie, do it. So I was, you know what? We might have to have a candy ball week for Open Studio Week. I was going to do some with roses today, but I didn't have time. Okay, let's cure that. I don't want this one quite as big as the other one. If you're typically you would use 2 on the same nail, and one would be larger than the other. And because you're using your crystal embossing gel, you don't have to put an additional top coat, but I do because I feel like Ladybug Luster is as clear as they come. And girl, after I file and get this ready to go on the nail, you better believe I'm going to put me some Ladybug Luster on it.
Sally said, can you do a rose one day this week?
Can I do? Yes, girl, I'll do one for you. I do for you. I do for you. Look, those of y'all that have these palettes in the cat eye, these ones, because we had several cat eyes in these, and I don't think there's any of the cat eyes left, are there, Keith? You can cat eye your petals. Won't you stop it? Won't you stop, Miss Tracy? Okay, last dip. And really let that gel kind of fall off of there. We're just waiting here. We're just waiting for her to come off of there, honey. And now spin, spin, spin. Oh, let's cure, and then I'll give you a close-up. You know, you got to get that thing in the light almost ASAP because she'll start moving on you. If you don't have this little IntelliCure lamp, maybe a foot pedal light or something you have that can help freeze this gel. Because this is crystal embossing gel, it is not easily frozen if you don't have a powerful lamp. Those little 9 wattage kind of lamps, it's on the Amazon, honey, it's not going to cure it. Now I'm going to pop this in my big lamp right over here and just give her a twirl. Let me give her at least 30 seconds in there. I'll be right back. Let's put her in. You get the stand, you get the lamp, rechargeable, the stand, and you get the charging cord with this. Do not be fooled by the knockoffs. Ours are wrapped in leather. We had a leather handle put on ours. And just because something's in the same body, you guys, does not mean that it has the same wattage and the same lights in it. Now let's take Ladybug Luster. I wouldn't do this at this stage. I would do this after I've put it on the nail, but I'm just going to show you how much that improves the clarity of your candy ball. Educators, if you're an educator and you're watching and you don't teach candy balls in part of your education, girl, you need to up your game. You need to put this in your repertoire. It takes very little supplies to do it with. You can share gel polish with your students. All you need is some crystal embossing gel. Get you a few little pots and divide it out. It is hard to use if you don't use it directly from the pot, is the only thing. And y'all, before I make these, I like to set my crystal embossing gel on a little heat pack so it makes my gel even more liquidy. But now, if you're a chaser, if you don't do good with liquefied gel, then you may just want to leave it as is. But it was cold in my office. I actually had it sitting on my little pack over here. All right. And let's see how close in we can get. I'm gonna kill some of these lights so I can get rid of those glares. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see if we can see it this way. Not really, can we? She's begging for studio lights, honey. And now we can take her off. Look, already twisting. I typically grab mine with a tissue or a paper towel because I have had that gel cut me before on the bottom of here. Ruh-roh, I just took the whole thing out. Look, I'll use my nippers and get her out of there. I've had to glue this little lady back in here before, so. And there's our candy ball. Here's the one we took off at the start of class. She's a little bit bigger. Look how pretty those are. So listen, come back tomorrow at 7. I'll show you how to put this on the nail and how to keep it on the nail, basically. You can't sit it on the nail just like it is. Little bit of work that we got to do underneath here. But these adhere not only beautifully to the nail, because we're going to stick it to the nail with the same product we built it out of. And gel loves to stick to gel, honey. We don't put this on with acrylic or glue or anything else. This will hold it to the nail surface. So with our nail art that we did tonight, let's see, where did we put, look at this, how pretty. Yes, we'll show the bundle again real quick. It's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Even something like this, look how pretty those candy balls would be in there. Girl, you better quit it now. All right, let's show what's in the bundle. We have super limited quantity on our bundle, but we have this solid gel palette. It has a light and a medium turquoise, a light and a medium pink, a light and a medium lilac. All 6 of those colors. Then you're going to get the coordinating rubber bases that I used. Cerulean Fancy, Bubblegum Fancy, and Iris Fancy. And we put you a 7mm brush in there also in the bundle so that you could do your little, this kind of work if you wanted to add that as well. The only other thing that you need in addition to this to create these was white gel polish and some green gel polish. Okay? Listen, I'll see y'all Wednesday, or not Wednesday. Look, I'm in such a habit. I'll see you tomorrow. It's open studio week. I'll see you tomorrow night at 7, and we're going to work on these candy balls. Okay? Y'all come back, and I'll show you how to put them on. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.